Two Brewers Yukon Single Malt Whiskey release number 13 Classic. Should you get this one? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Howdy my whiskey curious friends, Mark here from Whiskey Whistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews, bringing you release number 13 Classic from Two Brewers Yukon Single Malt Whiskey. Now, this is very, very interesting, delicious, wonderful whiskey. Let's get that poured. This one is apparently well aged. Now, I tasted that online in my live, and let's see what I think now. That should be, oh, that's a nice little pour. Get that back on there. Now, have you tried Two Brewers, any of them? If you have, leave some comments with your thoughts on different batches. Put that in the comments. Have you tried number 13? If so, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a nice little comment here on YouTube or Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram. I'll put all of the links in each of those. And, I usually do a picture for Instagram and a link for YouTube, link for Twitter. What's it called again? And another one for Facebook. And check out the community tab on my YouTube channel. I'll put some interesting things in there as well. Usually some links to videos, of course, but also some other unique things and polls on occasion. Other types of cool stuff, so make sure you check that out there. Okay, now let me just read a little blurb here about this one. And again, this is an offering from Two Brewers. They sent me a package with these 3 whiskeys you see before you, and also this t-shirt. And again, thank you very much. Really appreciate the help. I cannot get this in Manitoba, so this is the best way for me to get these reviews for you, to decide on what is best for you from Two Brewers. Release 13. Careful aging provides complex flavor development in a light-bodied malt. Easy drinking with plenty of engaging accents along the way. Delightful. And I won't read the tasting notes. You can check those out on twobrewers.com, okay? All right, the color. Let's look at the color of the whiskey. This seems to be about halfway between number 11 and number 13 in color. And this is just a slightly lighter amber hue. And again, it's naturally colored. They're all different in color. So that tells you that they're not doing anything unusual there. This is 43% ABV. This is the one I think is a bit darker. Yep, seems to be. And that was the lightest of the 3. %. I think it's unchill filtered. I don't think they chill filtered. I think they actually communicated that to me. Unfortunately, it's not on the bottles. Hopefully, they will make some adjustments and put on there some information. Full disclosure would make this just the darling of the whiskey industry. And I think that's something they can work towards. And I know that they, Canada's just not really about that, unfortunately, in terms of whiskey, and it kind of needs to be. It needs to sort of jump out of its old shell. There's some let's call that ghosts in the closet for Canada with whiskey. They don't use it, but the 1/11th rule is kind of a hindrance. In some ways, it can be a benefit to making interesting whiskey. However, you can read about it, but this is not the place. So let's just get into this one. And let's be thankful that Two Brewers is a definite integrity whiskey distillery. Oh, the legs. Let's check the legs out. This one seems very leggy. Fairly brisk legs, but look at that. They certainly hang on the glass nicely. Nice. Well, I think that's going to translate into some beautiful whiskey tasting. So let's check that out together. All right, on the nose, Beautiful, bright, engaging nose. This has Highlands region written all over it. If this had a sister distillery, it would be perhaps Edradour or Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie for its use of fresh casks. Edradour for its sort of distillery character. I think they're very similar in size. Oh, that's just gorgeous. There's a nice light green note. So again, something like a minty note alongside some citrus fruits, some orchard fruits. There's a light peach. There's a hint of pepper in there. There's a hint of that savory note, which is their part of their distillery character. My mouth is watering. This is really, really lovely. And a good friend of mine who is a huge Two Brewers fan, he said to me, well, it's just, it's like the other classics. But yeah, like that's their classic. So this is their classic style. And I guess this will kind of end up being sort of like their original. You got Glenmorangie original, or you got Founders Reserve this, or you have, number one that. So this is their standard. This is their benchmark. I also mentioned this kind of reminds me a little bit of some Irish single malts. Cooley. It reminds me a hell of a lot of Cooley Irish single malt. Beautiful. West Cork, also a little bit like West Cork. There's a bright, what is that note? It's like icing sugar. Berry, that's it. Berry sugar. This is kind of like berry sugar. All right, on to the palate. Cheers, everybody. And again, cheers to Two Brewers, and a special cheers to the man who said that to me, Dave Gardner. Big thanks to you, my friend. Bright and fruity. Slightly savory, but that's kind of in the background here. This is more of a bright, fruity malt. And by malt, I mean whiskey. It's crisp, it's fresh. Again, for age, I want to say this is around about 8 years old, plus or minus. The finish is medium length. It has the shortest finish of these three, but it is a short and sweet finish. Hint of pepper in there, like pink peppercorns. There is definitely some nice apple notes in there. Gala apples come to mind. some Asian pears. Slightly underripe Asian pears. That sugary note is also there. Hint of vanilla. Bit of ginger. Not a lot of cinnamon, not a lot of nutmeg here. I want you to file this under light, fruity, fresh orchard fruit compote with a little bit of ginger. Maybe grated ginger on top of that. A dash of vanilla. I'm really digging that. Okay, let's add some water. Now, if you haven't tried Two Brewers yet, and you want to try that, just reach out to the community. And especially try to get a hold of people in Alberta or in BC. You can contact the company directly, and if you're a retailer of whiskey in the States, contact twobrewers.com. Contact Dave Gardner, Dave at Yukon Beer. No. Yeah. Dave at yukonbeer.com. Yes, Dave at yukonbeer.com. And see if you can get something going for your shop, maybe for next year or the year after. The Canadian single malt scene is certainly thriving. And I want to say that Two Brewers is an absolute at the forefront, a front runner of Canadian single malt. And another great company, which was the first in North America, which is Glenora Distillery, Glen Breton. These are the two premier single malts in Canada. And there's a new one called Shelter Point. I think I have that somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. So Shelter Point, also very, very nice. And there's some others that are going to be good. They need more time, however. More time to improve how they make it. More time to improve the aging of the whiskey. All right, so with water. On the nose, you get a little bit more vanilla. A little bit more savory notes. It's still very bright. More vanilla, much more vanilla. That's definitely worthwhile to try with water. Now the palate, cheers again. It's just a slightly more mellowed event, sweeter event. Take that compote, that fresh fruit compote, add on some, let's say like a vanilla sauce. Of the three, this is the least dry. This is the fruitiest. And they're all excellent. Boy. Well, time for the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for Release 13. What's it called again? Release 13 Classic. I was thinking original. Release 13 Classic. Well, folks, 87 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for Classic Release number 13. I really do like that. And when I think of the three of these, my absolute favorite of these three was number 11. Number 2 was classic number 13. Very classic, well-aged, beautiful whiskey. And not by far, but number 3 is the peated. Oh, beautiful. Now I'm going to just do something fun, which I like to do. I'm going to mix the 3 of these together. And we'll have some fun with that. Do you ever do this? Do you make your own blended malts at home? In fact, this is still a single malt, but this should be a different beast. And we'll leave that sit for a minute right there. Put the whiskey hat on it. All right. All right, now before I check that out, again, let me thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate that. Why not subscribe to the channel? Click the link right over there. Okay, take your hand, go boop, hit that little button there. Click on the bell so you're notified in the future of the future Whiskey Whistles. And if you love what I'm doing, if you like what I'm doing, and you'd like to see more of that, bring out your help, bring out your support through Patreon. And become a patron there, patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle. There's all kinds of benefits. Early access to videos. You get first crack to watch them, first crack to interact. There are going to be patron-only events coming soon through YouTube, but private events just for you. We can get a little bit more unplugged, kind of enjoy the space, that internet shared space together for a little while. There's also going to be some attire coming up very soon for patrons, first of all, and then I'll probably do a small batch of shirts for you guys, for the subscribers of the channel, to see if we see how you like that. And just judging on that one, then maybe we'll do something even more interesting in the future. Glasses are imminent. I've already bought the glasses. And I'm going to do the etching myself. Not that hard. Can I show you? Here's one that was self-etched by a very close friend of mine who runs a Scotch club here. And beautiful job. It just takes a bit of patience and a bit of time. Interesting. It's kind of like an acid, I guess, or a base that kind of takes off the finish for that part, and you got your little cutout stick-on thingy. Anyway, I'm going to give that a try. We'll try a few, see how they work out, and if they don't work out, then I'll take the rest to an engraver here in town. Anyway, let's check this out now with all 3, 11, 12, 13 all together. Look at that delicious whiskey vapor developing in there. Can you see that? It's getting steamy. All right, here we go. The peat is so dominant. But there's a lot of sweetness in there too. So it's like a fruity, peaty event. Beautiful. It's just a nice, heavenly hint of peat, fruity, malty event going on here. I could smell that all night. My mouth is salivating again. Can you tell I love whiskey? All right, one more taste. Cheers, guys. Decadent. Oh, I like that. I'm going to save that for later. All right, folks, time to wrap this up. Thanks a lot for joining the ride here with Two Brewers and WhiskyWhistle. Check them out, twobrewers.com. And, we'll see you again very soon. I've already asked you to subscribe, so don't forget. And we'll see you for the next one, okay? Take care, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for watching WhiskyWhistle. Be sure to subscribe. And don't forget to give this video a like. And leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.